what is on the cutting edge of what young people want in a guitar. What do you think young people want in a guitar?
I still think that everything that was cool before is still cool. Okay. But I also think a lot of people look for something slightly different in which to call their own.
Example.
Like you want to be like, maybe it's an odd model of a Gretsch or a Gibson or, whatever.
You think that's why the RD and the Corvus and the all those kind of things that weren't particularly popular. Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Matt, and it's Thursday, and it is the 27th. It has been a lot of stuff happening here in the shop lately, and I was actually not going to be here today.
Mm-hmm.
I called Chris last night, and I'm like, hey, I am not going to be there tomorrow through the weekend. And so we had a death in the family, and so that's something that we have to deal with. But thank you to everybody who has sent sympathy and that stuff. So thank you for that. That's very cool of you.
Mm-hmm. So everybody should be thankful, because I was going to have to do a live stream by myself,
or there just wasn't going to be one.
I was planning on maybe doing one, or at least giving it a whirl if I could think of something to talk about. It might have been the world's shortest hour-long live stream, but I was at least going to give it a shot. And I can guarantee it would have been the most boring live stream we've ever done.
Well, now
if it was just me.
We have, and it's not, so again, guys, it's this. So this was Joy's father passed, and so it's a thank you to me, but really let Joy know. So what do you think about the topic "Make America Rock Again," Chris?
I think it's a good topic.
I think so too. Now, a lot of people are going to say something like, that sounds like that one slogan from some political party that I don't remember, but or they're going to say that's a bad thing to say. Mm-hmm. You think that?
I hope if anybody says something like that, it's a joke, because really it's
because I remember a time when America rocked. And there were like everybody was in on the rocking. You know what I mean? I don't care what nationality you are. Everybody rocked back in the day. So yeah, if you guys can't think of anybody, my phone is blowing up. And if you guys can't think of anybody who can rock, then you're just not trying very hard. Hold on, I've got to turn my phone off because there's a bunch of stuff coming in. And okay, all right, there we go. Okay. Well, so here's the thing, Chris. I was about to send out a newsletter, like an email campaign, email marketing, because it's a very cool thing. And we've got lots of stuff to talk to you guys about today. But this is what we really wanted to focus on, was making America rock again. And we want you to help make America rock again, right?
Yes.
How do you think I want to have people help me make America rock again?
I have no idea.
I think you do. And that is, Chris, we have April, June, and July. We've got a handful of spots in those classes. And I want you guys to come out and build guitars and rock and make America rock again. Now, the reason that I'm having to say it like that is because April is our very first Super Strat class. Talk about a rock and roll guitar, right? I've decided, okay. And June is a Telecaster workshop. And July is a Stratocaster workshop. I have decided that since the Super Strat thing is so cool, that if you want to come out and build a super telly, like the Mick Mars Girls Telly, or if you want to come out in the Strat workshop and make a super Strat a la George Lynch or Jakey Lee or Vernon Reed or Dr. No or Grant Estes or some of those other guys who rocked and played super Strat, you can come to any one of these classes and build a super Strat or a super Telly. Further into that end, if you're like, oh, really, I can only make April, but I don't want to build a super Strat, I want to build a regular Strat, that's fine too. Here's what else I have. I'm just throwing this out here. What if you go, I really want to build a Telly, but the only ones I can come to are a Strat one? What do you think I've decided about that?
I think you've decided, yeah, that sounds good.
Specifically, I've decided if you want to build a Telly or a Strat or a super Strat or a super Telly in April, June, or July, I've got some spaces for you. And you can bring it on. Now, the website does not reflect it yet because I've had some stuff going on. You know what I mean? People, I can't do it all. So
just sign up. Tell us what you want to build.
That's right.
In the comment section.
Yep.
Not in the comment, as you're signing up for it.
Exactly. Just let me know then.
Yeah.
Dan, you're right. You and Doc and are doing your best to make Canada rock too. Lefty wants to rock. Sean says that you can still rock in America. Butch says, I just want everyone to sit down and concentrate so I can see. Butch, now there's a bunch of cool stuff in the background here. Now, you might not know why it's cool, but there's a bunch of cool stuff in the background. One of them is, have you shown off Atlanta Mike's Billy Bo Jupiter jet?
You showed it off a little bit last Thursday.
Okay.
With Carlos.
All right. Apparently, I read it wrong, Butch. I'm sorry. Let me see if I can find it again here. Oh, he wants everyone to sit down at concerts so he can see. Well, yeah.
Oh.
Stop being short, Butch.
Yeah,
that's easy.
Yeah, or get a front row.
Yeah, get some lifts. But we've got a boatload of SGs that are going right now. As a matter of fact, I just worked on one just the other day. Right back there, and so Ben Noba bought that one that's that with the stripes, and Zoltan bought another one. Now I don't know which one he wants. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's a boatload of neck throughs, and Zoltan wants one.
Cool.
Guys, if you're not watching the do it at your own shop online neck through thing on Patreon and you want to watch it, you got to go sign up right now, because this is the only time when the paywall to see the whole thing is $1. You don't have to, in other words, if you signed up for the minimum amount of either YouTube subscription or Patreon subscription, the minimum's $1. If you signed up at the $1 level, you get to see everything. This is the last time we're going to do that. So anyway, have you seen any of those?
No.
Maybe you're not a Patreon member.
I'm not.
All right. What are you going to do to make America rock again, Chris?
What am I going to do to make America rock?
Let me know how you feel about this new class thing.
Well, I like the class thing. Those guitars are all good and similar, so should be no problem doing that.
But let's talk about how, okay, yeah, I get it. It's no problem to do it, but let's talk about how cool it is going to be to make these things that you get to play. I mean, that's the neat part about it. The neat part about all these workshops is not that it's not a problem, right? I mean, they're super cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, imagine like, well, okay, so all right, let me ask you a different way. Chris, you're going to come to Super Strat Workshop in April, and there's going to be a bunch of people here making cool guitars. What are you going to make?
I'm going to make a Super Strat. I don't know, Matt. That's how many months away?
1
month away.
Yeah.
5 weeks away.
Clearly, I should have broached this topic with you before we started.
Yeah, you sort of sprung it on me. I don't know. what I would make.
Well, since you can build a super strat or this is really one of those wah wah moments. I mean, what I'm trying to figure out
what I make, because it matters what they make.
No, I get it. I'm trying to ask you to put yourself in their shoes, and they get to make something really cool.
Okay.
So, if it was me at super strat class, I think I would do the exact opposite, and I would go regular strat.
Yeah.
Stevie Ray style.
Okay.
And I'd want the upside down. I want a left-hand trem on it, and I want it routed for a left-hand trem, but that trem put on a right-handed guitar.
Okay.
A la Stevie Ray style.
Okay.
And I want alder body, and I want sunburst finish.
Okay.
Rosewood neck.
Okay.
And I want it to be just like that. And then I want it the thinnest possible finish I can get, so I can beat the crap out of it and have it look like Stevie Ray's. Okay. Wouldn't that be cool? How did he do that? His left-handed trem. Obviously, he didn't buy a guitar that had I routed it wrong.
Yeah, he did it poorly. So really, the only thing he had to do was bump out the top edge for the tremolo arm.
But then there's an extra thing.
Well, and then he filled it in with a piece of wood on the other side. Yeah, poorly.
Okay.
That's what you can see. And then he put the custom sticker on it.
Maybe I'd do that. Maybe I would say I want it to have a poorly put in chunk of timber in there.
Yeah. Yeah. So really the way to do it would be to, route it right-handed and then route it left-handed.
And then and then add a chunk.
Some other like piece of pine or something like that. I don't even know what it was.
I'm sure we'll have a block of crap wood you can shove in there. Okay. Yep. All right. You see where I'm going with this? Now, obviously, I'm not going to build that. Mm-hmm. But if it was me and I'm coming out here, that's what I would like to build. What would you like to build? And I wasn't thinking about this all day. I just came up with that right then. That's because I'm super creative. I know you don't believe me, but that's absolutely what I had done. Okay. While you're thinking about it, Goslin Creative, what if we want to build a Les Paul? Could we do that in one of the SG workshops? You sure can, as long as you build a 61 Les Paul. No problem at all.
Yeah, so the SG class is a neck through class.
Mm-hmm.
The Les Paul class is not.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's a much different construction, and no.
Now, gosh, how many types of Les Paul are there? There's the Les Paul standard, the Les Paul custom. There's the SG when it said Les Paul on it. Mm-hmm. There's the Les Paul double cutaway. There's the Les Paul single cutaway flat top. There's the one with the little piece on the high E side that comes out. There's one piece of different necks. There's all kinds of Les Pauls. When I think of a Les Paul, though, when I think of the Les Paul guitar, I don't think of the Les Paul recording, with like 87 switches and like ways to tune in stuff. And I think of the Les Paul standard. Yeah. Now, people do this to me all the time. They're like, they try to like throw me for a loop. Well, what about, I happen to know. And I get it. But no, when actually we don't even have a Les Paul workshop scheduled for this time. Yeah. For this year yet. And I don't know if we're gonna. Maybe you didn't care for them.
I didn't care for them?
No, you like the PRS workshop way better.
The PRS workshop is I like the Les Paul one. It's odd because the Les Paul is just slightly harder.
And I don't
for some reason.
It is, but I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why either. Yeah. So it was more of a push. The PRS workshop, both of those went real smooth last year.
And we had they were all the way full. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure. Do you guys still like the PRS workshop, or is that one of those things where I said you have to build this PRS? Because like some people were like, I want to build the McCarty, I want to build the Classic 24, I want to build the single cut, or the what. Paul Reed Smith has a boatload of models, but for the most part, there's that one shape that everybody, I think, at least knows. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What if somebody wanted to build like a Telecaster Deluxe? Already done it. It's already happened.
Yeah.
Somebody already did that. So yeah, you can do that. I think. Actually, can you in these workshops?
I think if you let us know. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the coping section and see what's happening here. Butch says, and I'm going to try to read the whole thing correctly this time, Butch. I would make either Prince, Mad Cat, or George Harrison's all rosewood telly. Well, Butch, I think that's a great idea. How did they work? So George Harrison's was actually all rosewood.
Yeah, I think there was a thin layer of something in between the two slabs of rosewood.
Yeah.
It was pancake built.
How do they do it now?
We pancake build them still.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it was maple or something like that. Those are all very, very, very heavy guitars.
Jose said, yeah, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
We got some Purple Heart the other day. Can you imagine if you made, and you could, in fact, it would be quite easy to make an all Purple Heart telly.
Yeah.
And it would weigh 25 pounds. Well, no, it would.
Well, so, the funny thing about heavy guitars, we have the plywood Les Paul here, and everybody picks it up and you'd think they were trying to lift a Volkswagen.
Yeah.
They're like, oh man, this thing's heavy. Oh, geez, it's so heavy. It's 11 pounds.
Yeah.
But it feels heavy. I happen to know that George Harrison guitar weighs like 13 pounds.
There's that
feel nailed to the floor.
Magic number of 10 pounds or less is like, okay, you can tolerate it for a little while. But
yeah.
If it goes 1 ounce over 10 pounds, it's all of a sudden, it's a insurmountable thing.
Yeah,
Jose,
13-pound guitar is
that's a lot.
Heavy.
Jose writes, a neck through Les Paul like a spotlight would be cool. Do you know what that means?
No.
We need more clarification, sir. He says with a darker center part and heavy flames on the side. Okay. All right. I see what you mean. With eagles flying in the sky and flags waving and all that. Well, you could be in John Parr's Naughty Naughty video if you had that guitar. Dan says that he liked the PRS class and that Chris helped him build an awesome Les Paul.
Yep.
Kev says, I want the Aldo Nova Les Paul with the Explorer headstock. Already did it. Brian Duncan already did that one.
Did it.
Yeah.
And then he made his a little thinner so it doesn't weigh 11 pounds.
Yeah. Yep.
It's actually nice and light.
You guys are going to have to come up with something that's really ridiculous, like a neck through Les Paul for us to say no. With eagles and stuff inlay crap all over it. Yeah.
Yep.
RVA Guitar says maple veneer. I don't know what that lacks perspective, sir. We need more on that one. K Sharp 10 says I used to own one of those original rosewood guitars. The top and back were all piecemeal 3 pieces with an 1/8 strip of maple in the middle. Pinstripe Harrison's did not have a maple filler on neck. Okay. Jose says a heavy guitar would be cool, like Thor's hammer sort of thing. Only the worthy ones can lift it. I'll leave that one to y'all. Doc says light guitars are definitely my preference now, all because of the 100-ounce challenge and what I learned doing it. RVA says that's what it's in the middle of the rose. Okay, yeah, maple veneer. That makes sense. Now I'm on the trolley.
Yeah, and I don't know. A Fender style rosewood neck is no big shake.
Before we started, that's not
a whole other thing.
Big deal.
Yeah, and 3-piece. I would imagine that would be fairly standard.
Before we started this live stream, I was going through my YouTube feed, and there are a bunch of videos from this band called Starcrawler. And if you guys don't know them, check them out. They played at the Woodwire and Volt show in Anaheim or wherever it was, and that we were at in January. And so I watched a couple of their videos. Now I get like inundated with videos from them. And they're all, what would you say, 20 something young people?
Yeah. Mid,
And I don't know if like they care if guitars are light or if what they want their guitar to look like. I don't know. And I was saying to Chris, it's been 35 years since I knew what was cool.
Yeah.
I know what's traditional now. That's about as good as it gets. You know?
Yeah. Well, I think there's a guitar for everybody. You know?
Yeah.
I think the stuff that was cool then is still cool. I think there's other stuff that's cool. I think there's some stuff that, I mean, there are people that still don't like Les Pauls.
Yeah.
You know, or whatever it is.
I know some of those people, but I ask them to leave.
There's a pocket for, you know, of fans for virtually everything. Some of those pockets are smaller than others.
Our good friend Doug sent us a super chat and said, when are you going to wear that state trooper hat? Doug, it's right up here. It's on a little skull that Brandon actually got me to have hats on. Mm-hmm. And actually it's for motorcycle helmets, but it works just as good for hats. Mm-hmm. That hat doesn't quite fit me. So that's why I don't wear it very often, but it has a place of honor mm-hmm. in the shop. And thank you for the super chat too, Doug. You know, all of our live streams are absolutely, positively 100% crowdfunded. No corporate overlords, Chris. You want to know what Telecaster I'd make if I did the Telecaster class?
Yes.
You do?
Uh-huh.
I would totally build a super Tele.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would go with Floyd Rose, one pickup, mm-hmm. humbucking pickup. Mm-hmm. I don't know what kind I would use. So generally speaking, if I was going to do a one pickup guitar, my one pickup is a ceramic magnet humbucker, slightly overwound. Dylan makes a good one, mm-hmm. you know? But that would be a great one to put in that. But I don't think I would do that. I think I would put an EMG 85.
Yeah.
Or whatever the bridge one, 81 or 85.
Can't remember.
Or I would do an Esquire with an EMG pickup in the bridge. Straight up, everything regular Esquire, but active pickup in the bridge. What would you do?
In the Tele class?
Yeah.
I think I would finally build the nerdiest 50 Telecaster I could.
Okay. What does that mean to you? Hold on. I'm going to give you a moment. Gary says in super chat form, thank you so much, Gary. Do I need to bring you another one? Gary, I've got this one. It's right here. There's no need, my friend. I'm afraid if I start wearing that hat around,
people are going to think you're a state trooper.
People are going to think don't be fooled by the hair. Yeah. Mike says, saw a young lady from Wet Leg playing a Fender single P90 Tele Esquire meets a junior. That sounds cool. Okay. Loring says he would go to a nerdy Tele class. Loring, all of our workshops can be as nerdy as you want to make them, as you well know. And we haven't seen Loring for a long time, so you should come down.
Yep.
All right, Chris, please tell me about the Tele that you would make.
Well, I would just do it, you know, as 1950 as I could. Black guard, black Bakelite guard, fat maple neck.
Yeah.
Just butterscotch. Mm-hmm. Check. Scratch it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you relic it?
maybe finish the guitar and then cut a forearm contour in it like Jeff Beck did.
Or another cutaway like who did that one? The Dan Erlewine was.
Oh yeah, the Michael Bloomfield guitar.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Hell, Doc makes that guitar already.
Wouldn't do that. Yeah. Yeah.
That would be cool. Now, okay, we've made that guitar before though. We haven't made a super Tele in a long time.
No.
even excuse me. Even the last build workshop, I built a pretty standard Tele with the rest of the guys, except for the bridge couch. Mm-hmm. We're going to show that guitar off more coming up too.
Okay.
Not today, but in the coming up future. We've got a bunch of guitars that are going to be ready for a reveal very, very soon, but we're waiting on parts still, aren't we?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So yeah, we don't have anything to reveal between now and next Friday.
Next Friday.
Not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow. Okay, let's go back to the Strat thing. What would you build if you could build any Strat? Come on, man, just help me out here.
I don't know.
Okay, remember earlier this week when you said, let's talk about classes more?
I do remember that.
All right.
Let's not talk about what Chris would build because that is immaterial.
All right, let's talk about material.
Okay. Material?
I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to. I'm grabbing at straws here. I'm treading water. Help me out.
Well,
I already okay. So you know what I would build in the regular Strat class?
What?
Super Strat, pink or monkey grip green or CC DeVille yellow.
Okay.
And there I would go 2 humbuckers, probably both EMGs on that too.
Okay.
And Floyd. What if you wanted to put a Kaler on? Does a Kaler mean, is that a Super Strat at that point? Like the big top mounted Kaler, not the Kaler that looks just like the Floyd.
I think it still counts.
Hey Jay, Jay, I'm gonna send you an invoice. Jay, Jay, Joy has been on me like stink on a diaper. That does not sound good. Joy has been on me to do that and has been relentless. And I need to. I'm doing it. I'm gonna do it.
I'm scared.
I don't know why I haven't done it. I don't know. I wish I knew. I feel like less of a man because I've not done it yet. And Jay's asked me and asked me and asked me and asked me and so on and so on and so on.
Yep.
And he was telling me about his new pickups and everything. I should just go do it right there, right now. Minimum 5 monkey grips. Loring says that he has a Kaler on a Strat. I think Kalers on a Strat are cool. Mike says in super chat form, a Fiesta Red Strat with Dylan's Bonneville pickups. Dude, I love Fiesta Red. Chris,
fun color.
What do you think of Fiesta Red?
I like it.
Have you ever eaten off of Fiesta ware plates?
Yes. I currently do not own any, but
is that what they mean when they say Fiesta Red?
No.
Oh,
I don't think so. Yeah, it's a Ford color.
Oh,
so
is it on the Ford Fiesta?
No, I had a Fiesta. It was orange. We called it the General.
I think I saw
the General.
I think I saw a Ford Fiesta one time with a bumper sticker that read, "I'd rather push a Ford than drive a Chevy," and I'm like, boy, that is taking it to its literal extreme.
Yeah, well, I pushed that Fiesta quite a bit. That was the slowest car I've ever driven.
I see.
Yeah. Going. I drove it back and forth to Durango to college, and going up and over several of the mountain passes and Wolf Creek Pass and stuff. It was brutal.
Did you ever pick up a signal from Raton, New Mexico?
No, I never did.
Okay. I know you're trying to fill slots in upcoming classes right now, but are you going to offer the neck workshop again? That was a fun class, and I need to. What say ye? I think Loring wants to build more mahogany necks too.
Yeah. The neck class was good.
The neck class was especially. I think that was one of your favorite ones.
Well, I didn't. I was available to help if need be,
and you did,
and I did
quite a bit actually.
But I wasn't as. I also did some other stuff during that class.
I would like to do another essential neck building workshop and an essential body workshop too. Maybe we should go ahead and get those guys scheduled. So, gang, here's what happened. The SG workshop in May and the semi-hollow body workshop in August got full real fast.
Got oversold full.
And in one instance got oversold full. And I had to add more. So and I'm trying to do there's a guitar show in Chicago in August. I'm trying to make that happen, though I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. You want to read? Did you read my article about trade shows? In this,
no, I haven't read it. I looked at the pictures.
In this quarter's episode issue of Salute magazine. You want to see it real quick? I'll show you.
Sure. I need to get one.
You can have this one.
Oh.
Joy said. So look, there's a whole thing about wood wire and volts here, and there's pictures of you. There's Abigail Ibarra. There's Carlos. There's a bunch of people. Look, let's review wood wire and volts.
Oh, there you go.
See my quote here. The more trade shows I do, the better I like them. End quote. No one ever. So yeah, if you guys haven't gotten your magazine, you can pick that up too. All right, let's go back to the coping section here. Have you noticed I'm not calling it the comment section anymore? Okay. Hey, Chris, was Oscar's open back then? Was Oscar's open back then? That place is amazing. Deep fried French toast is the bomb. Hi, Dylan.
What?
Hey, Chris.
Are we talking about
was
Durango?
Oscar's? I guess.
No, it wasn't. It was a long time ago. I'm old. The hot spot there was Durango Diner back then.
Okay.
So.
All right. Mike says Fiesta Red is Ford MO530, but it's a reused code, so be sure to specify Fiesta Red. I never knew that. Okay, so it makes sense, and it stands to reason that all those colors are automotive.
And different companies would call the same color different names.
Let me ask you this: who used it? Like Ford?
Well, so yeah, I think it was a Ford color originally.
So did they call it Fiesta Red, and Fender called it Fiesta Red too, so that you could know like what? Okay.
Yeah, and
or like if Oldsmobile had a blue that you liked, you could get that.
Yeah, and I don't know what. I think most of them were GM colors, but I could be wrong. Yeah. So,
what's the baddest ass? Super cool car from back in the day. Sub question: why is it the Buick Skylark?
What?
Some of those Skylarks were rad. They were really boss looking.
Yeah. GSXs and stuff like that.
Just saying. Personally, I think it's probably the El Camino, but that's just where I come down.
That's where you. That's
land. Just me. Me and Bobby Dale go there. But are you, as a Buick guy, do you think the Skylark, the 67 Skylark is rad?
Yeah, some of those are pretty cool. The 68 through 72s that look like Chevelles and GTOs and all that.
What did Elizabeth Montgomery drive? She always had some hot shot ride.
That was always that was always hilarious.
Going to the PTA meeting
and badass convertible Camaros and Impalas, 427 Impalas and stuff. Yeah. My grandfather owned a Buick dealership, and he refused to bring in any Skylarks.
Really?
If somebody special ordered it, he would send them someplace else. Dumb idea.
That seems like an odd thing to be a Buick dealer. And
turn away business. Yeah. That car was too small.
Blank Nobody says those Dylan pinstripe models are totally hot. God bless you. They are so cool. In fact, they're in the new magazine. Hold on. Because if you guys, these things are so rad. There's a whole thing. There's a whole write-up on Dylan in here and the models. And so that's Jim. That's Jim and Chris. Guys, there's like a picture. Joy took all these awesome rad pictures. This one here, the humbucking one, the black one with the pinstripes and the humbuckers.
That one's still available.
It is so excellent. That is, I think that is my favorite one. And I want to say the P91 sold
the most pinstriping on it too.
And I just love the way that like the cream humbucking rings like match the pinstriping, and it is so excellent.
Yep.
And we talked with the guys from Casino Guitars yesterday. If any of you guys know Baxter or Jonathan or any of the guys from Casino, nice guys, super cool dudes. I think they're going to eventually get some guitars from us, but I don't think that they're going to do it anytime soon.
Yeah.
And I told them, I'm like, hey man, Dylan sold like most of those guitars in the first 24 hours.
Yeah.
And he didn't even have a shop. Imagine what you guys could do with half dozen of them. So, but I think they're trying to get like the fact is, it's hard because we're asking guys to buy 5 guitars.
Mm-hmm.
I think a shop like Casino probably buys 500 guitars. How many Fenders do you suppose? I don't know.
I don't know.
How many guitars do you suppose a big shop probably goes to? It's more than 5.
Yeah.
Right. They probably sell 5 Fender custom shop things every month. I bet.
Yeah.
You know, that's 60 a year.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 is kind of like, well, we could make a little bit of money, but could we make more money with insert name of something that,
well, we'd be happy to make them more.
Well, that's, I didn't tell him that. Maybe I ought to tell him that.
Maybe 5's not enough to start with. Maybe you need 10.
We wanted to make it easy, but yeah. Okay, let's go back to the old C section here. And Mike, they are going fast. Like I said, the first 3 sold in the first 24 hours, man. Don't be surprised either, guys, if Dylan does like they don't quote me on this, and I don't know how he would pull this off, but he was talking to me about the idea of doing like a pre-order where you could pick what you wanted, and I don't know what he's going to put for availability either. So you got to remember that the first 5 are what they are. And I think he wants to keep those limited edition things. And that's cool because the 5 guys who get those guitars, they're going to know that you can't get those anymore. Somebody asked me, no, it was you that was saying that people were like, what's the difference? How come I don't just buy a Texas Toast Challenger Level 2? Because you can't get a Texas Toast Challenger Level 2 that's got all the stuff that Dylan's guitars do.
Yeah.
So first of all, a Challenger Level 2, even the maple top ones, which all of Dylan's are maple top ones. The Level 2s come with a maple neck. Dylan's come with a mahogany neck. The I suppose you could get block inlay, but the Level 2s don't come with binding on the neck. Dylan's do. And they come with block inlay. And they come with luminescent side dots. Most importantly, though, and this is a subtle change, all the Challengers, Level 1, 2, 3, and 4, all have a Hipshot bridge. They don't have a stop tail and tune-o-matic. Dylan's all have stop tail and tune-o-matic. So they're really different animals. They're carved top, stop tail, tune-o-matic. They're more like a Les Paul than anything else, I guess.
Yeah. And then there's, not that you can't get a black guitar or a gold guitar or a blue guitar from us, but his are custom spec that way, and they have pinstripes on them. That's a thing.
They were hand done by Mike Learn.
Yeah, hand done by Mike Learn. That cost more than a nickel.
I know for a fact how much it cost.
Yeah, and and then there's a bunch of other stuff too. There's a bunch of case candy and all sorts of stuff. Oh, they've got special inlay on the pickups and the tailpiece and
that's right. There was all kinds of
kind of one-off stuff on those guitars. So
Vinny says they don't feel like a Les Paul at all. The Challenger is much easier to play. And Mike says that Dylan's have a Tone Pros bridge. They do. Loring asks a very, very interesting question. Loring is a cerebral guy. He asks, is the daily driver in your dealer program? Now, Chris, you asked me something very similar.
I did.
Just the other day. I'm going to interrupt me whenever you want to come in.
Okay.
At some point this week, Chris said, what if somebody wants a daily driver or a super Casanova or something else? And I'm like, no. And then you said, well, why would you do that? Basically what you said was, you're a Buick dealer. Why would you turn away?
Yeah.
And it makes all the sense in the world. So what if somebody wanted to buy 5 daily drivers?
Sure. I don't see, it's not, we didn't really set out to do that, but wouldn't have any issue with doing that.
The funny thing to
Presumably
me is
they would have some ideas on what they want.
Yeah.
You know, it would be slightly different than the run of the mill telly.
My my original thought was wrong. If somebody wants to do daily drivers, we should do it. In fact, and so as you asked me that question, I got to thinking about it. Of course, I flew off the handle and said no immediately. But then the more I thought about it, the more I thought, not only should we allow people to do daily drivers or something else, we need to bring back the daily driver. And you and I were just talking about bringing back the daily driver right before we did this.
Yep.
I think that you guys are going to see some more models coming very soon. Some of them if you've been around for a while, might be familiar. Some of them you've never seen before. Wait till you see the new Texas Toast Hustler. You haven't even seen it yet. I know, right?
I haven't seen it.
You haven't? No, it's an all new thing. You haven't even seen it yet.
Okay.
The Texas Toast Hustler. What do you think of that name?
That's a good one.
Let me ask you this.
Beaver hunt.
What would your Texas Toast Hustler look like? Okay. No, this is but so we talked about bringing back the daily driver, the Super Casanova.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to bring back both those models, and I've got a new model that I'm you guys know I always come up with silly names for stuff. So like the Honey Badger was one. I think too. I've been talking about double cutaway for a long time. I probably just need to make one and just realize that I'm not going to like it and just put it out there. Well, and what I mean by that is every time I make one or I draw one out and then wad up the paper or go, I hate this. I think that I need to give it more of a chance than I'm giving it, because it's got one detail that I'm not super thrilled about or whatever. But what do you think about bringing back the Wheeler Dealer?
I like the Wheeler Dealer.
You got to go way back in history to remember the Wheeler Dealer.
Yep, that really predates me.
What? Okay, now I just said that to be flip, but what do you think about bringing back the Wheeler Dealer?
Yeah, I think that would be cool.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see what everybody else says. Loring, what do you think? You want to buy 5?
We don't know what the Wheeler Dealer is.
Yeah, no one knows what it is. Yeah. JD says Texas Toast guitars will outplay anything you can think of, hands down. I've played my first hole through my finish on the challenge. Oh my God, that's cool. That is rad. I am so glad that you did that.
You need to see a picture of that, please.
I would like to see a picture of that if you wouldn't mind sending me that, JD. Vinny says the daily drivers are awesome. Amanda says, are you here working on your Pew Pew mod wrench for TTG? Jeffrey Hall said that, not Amanda. Sorry. I don't know what Pew Pew mod wrench is. I don't have anything in the back. Okay. All right. Here's where Amanda is. Jeffrey Hall. Nah, I would never expect that here, even though I look better in blue. Okay. I'm not familiar with that inside joke. I probably should have let that one go. Dylan sent us a super chat and says, daily driver, will there be drop down so I can select what pistol I want in the back? Do you remember that one?
I'd forgotten it until just the second.
We did a daily driver that had it had a magnet and it was perfectly cut out. You made a custom route for a Smith & Wesson J-frame 442 or 642.
Yeah.
It had a magnet that held the cylinder in, and you wouldn't want to
mostly held it.
Go all kinds of, you wouldn't want to totally rock out.
No, I think
it would flop.
If I was actually doing that, I would also add a leather strap.
Which would be
button.
Cool.
Yeah.
So Chris, if Dylan wants a daily driver with a with a custom pistol mount.
Yeah, I think I still have that route.
Well, no, but he doesn't have a J frame that I know of.
Well, for one, it's a good excuse to get one. Two, I'm sure I could come up with another route.
Now I know you're not a big time gun guy, but
No.
But I think that an old school revolver is like the ideal thing to kind of shoehorn into the back of a Telecaster.
It's kind of funny because you think, oh, there's lots of wood left on a Telecaster for stuff. No, there's really not.
Mm-hmm.
It was, yeah.
We had to get it just right.
So, yeah.
What I mean, you could fit like anything that's J frame size should be no problem, like Glock 43 or 26 or any of the other stuff. You know, like a Colt 1903, something like that. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, you have to. It has to be pretty diminutive though to fit in there. Fitting like a full size Ruger Blackhawk is going to be tricky. But yeah, okay. But Dylan, I forgot. I totally spaced that one all completely out.
Locked it, so
it looked nice.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah.
Bring back the bottle opener option. I love the bottle opener option. Amanda says he's making a reference to me being a moderator on Phil McKnight's channel and mods show up blue. Oh, okay. All right. Gotcha. Jay, I don't think an X frame is going to fit in a telly. We need to come up with an all new guitar.
Mm-hmm.
But I personally like the idea of coming up with a guitar so that it fits an X frame revolver. Pew Pew is a Star Wars reference. Well, Amanda, it is and it isn't. Ask Jay what it means in our world. Sean says Derringer route, that would fit easy. Driddle says don't forget your party time jack at the telly class. I think that the party time jack was cool, and every so often people want to do it still. What do you think, sir?
About the party time jack?
Brian says, and it plays great. I love that guitar.
It's my favorite jack
of all time. All the jack, even more than Jack and the Beanstalk. Okay.
Yep. You know, I was thinking about it. Telecaster is the only guitar at least in the early Fender days that has a jack on the side of the guitar. Everything else is top.
In Fender world?
In Fender world.
What about like the hollow body ones? Were they on the top too?
In Fender world?
Yeah.
Oh,
like the Starcaster or the
no, some of that
Coronado,
stuff.
whatever.
Yeah, but that's all later stuff.
Okay.
But you know, Strat, Jazzmaster, Jag.
What did the P-Bass all have? Yeah.
P-Bass had one in the. Where is the P-Bass one?
Well, the one with the big pick guard has it in the
pick guard.
But I think that the 51 P-Bass must have had it on the side because the little jack plate on that one is very small.
Yeah. So that one had one on the side. But anyway, yeah. Kind of weird because most people I think prefer a jack in the side of the guitar rather than in the top of the guitar.
I think you're right.
And they only use that Strat jack on the Strat. That was the only guitar that ever got that dumb thing.
Until the pawn shop
until
stuff
started, doing other weird stuff. But you know, it's actually kind of a neat jack.
Brian, do you have a revolver in that Telecaster, or I'm sorry, that daily driver with
Brian have the
Brian Mills has that guitar?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's hilarious. Yeah. Do you have a?
Did you put a revolver in there?
Is the guitar complete, or is it? Yeah.
Do you take it out of the house?
I have so the funny thing is when I cut that out, I actually saved the inside part. So I have the little, it's smaller than the real gun, but yeah.
I am making the command decision. Do you think it would be possible to put a revolver mount in my bass? In my Matthew Pendejo bass?
Sure.
Is there enough? I think it's got. It's got a forearm contour.
You might have a tummy cut in there too, but there's a lot of real estate.
I don't think it has a tummy cut.
Okay,
but it's got a forearm contour.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what do you have? This is out of left field, so I totally understand if you don't have an answer for this. I'm gonna think. I love you even more now than I did before, but if you don't have an answer, it's not going to change anything. But if you do have an answer, I'll be totally stoked for that.
Okay.
What guitar would you like to bring back that we used to make?
Really, I mean the Super Casanova I think is a good one.
How would you do that?
Well, for one thing, it has to be a Super Casanova. It can't be a Casanova LTD or
Casanova Deluxe.
Yeah, Casanova Deluxe. It has to be the Super Casanova.
Could you just lump all those things into they're just all Super Casanovas now?
Yeah, you could, but I want more super, less deluxe.
So what would that mean?
Well, so that guitar, 24 3/4 scale, set neck, 2 humbuckers.
And you could put whatever you wanted in those humbucker holes.
Yeah, and then really, I mean, you could also do it, P90s or whatever. But yeah.
That sounds cool.
Cool bridge.
Maple top binding. What I mean, like
probably binding.
And then, so if we did that, okay. So one of the things that you and I like to do now is reveal binding. I guess we could like bend tops over stuff.
We could, yeah.
What would you think about what? So the Deluxe was basically that guitar without binding, as I recall.
Yes.
What would you think about doing one of those and just that's just now the Super Casanova? Is that not super enough?
No, I think we could. Yeah, we could do that. We had some of those that were pretty neat too.
Gosh, like I think like a really cool, like a burst, like very very classic burst, or very classic colors, but with that neck joint. What do you think of that? I think that'd be rad.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool. Yeah.
JM trim.
If you wanted it, it wouldn't have to have that.
What would the default bridge be? Because it's got so much ass.
It does, but that seems to be less and less of an issue as people do other things with those. Yeah, I don't know. I'd be good with just about anything. I think we put a Hipshot Strat style bridge in one.
I think we did. Yeah,
we did. I know we did. And that was okay.
All right.
Yeah, hardtail, whatever.
What? I'm actually surprised that you say that you'd want the 24 3/4 inch scale set neck.
Oh, yeah.
Although that guitar, I think is just magically delicious. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And you've got one. I think you might have. There's been a handful of Super Casanovas that have been sold in, and I know of where a couple of them are. Yeah.
Yep.
When do you think? Well, maybe we should do that one sooner rather than later.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe we should get the Daily Driver and the Super Casanova back up and running.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you guys think? Tell me what you would like to see that we don't do. If Daryl's here, he'd be like, double cut. Daryl's always asking for double cutaway stuff. Dylan says that if you had a pistol in the back of your gun, you'd have to rename the tummy cut the Tommy cut. Loring says, is the Super Casanova a JM? Now, yes and no.
It's Jazzmaster shaped.
It is Jazzmaster adjacent.
You can see it from there. Yeah, that was the original idea. And we made some just straight up Jazzmasters and called them Casanova LTD.
That's right.
We were taking our naming conventions from automotive stuff. That guitar was limited to how many we could make.
I
think we made 2.
The original name for that guitar, though, the Super Casanova was the very first name. And I lifted that from a friend of mine's band has a song called Slee Stack. And the first words of the song are Super Casanova. Dylan says, if you do SCN in 24 3/4 and set neck, put me down for one HH route. Well, Dylan, okay, we can do that like almost immediately.
What's an SCN?
I think that's a Super Casanova.
Super Casanova.
SCN, yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
I am slow.
Yeah. Super Casanova would be SCN. Super Aldo Nova, SAN. SAN. I think that would be really cool. Okay, Dylan, you don't have to tell me right now, and I'm going to be out of town for a little bit, but think about like what you want the body wood to be and what you want it to look like. I know you're not going to want it to be traditional alder with a 3-color sunburst. Oh, maybe you would. I don't know. But that would be a monster guitar. One of the neat things about the Super Casanova is the neck is basically a Challenger neck. right? I mean, it joins the body similarly.
Yeah. As I recall, I'd have to bring mine in. It doesn't have. There's not a whole lot of heel on that guitar because we trimmed the.
It looks like that one.
The heel back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So really good access.
Yeah.
To all the upper frets that I don't use.
You need all the access to those.
Do. Yeah. But I mean, it does. Yeah. Yeah. It has good access and yeah, it's a comfy guitar to play, which I like. So.
Yeah, man, I think that the Super Casanova deserves its time in the spotlight.
Okay.
So why do you not want to do just a regular bolt-on like the Jazzmaster? Well, because you can just get the Jazzmaster.
Kind of. Yeah. Yeah, for the same reason that I want to do daily drivers with some slight modifications.
You don't want to spill the beans on any of that stuff now, do you? Okay. All right.
No, but I mean, yeah, I don't just want to build straight up Jazzmasters. We could do something Jazzmaster shaped, sort of Jazzmastery. But yeah, it doesn't have to be, and I think the original reason for doing that guitar was because we like set necks and and all of that stuff, and so
do you remember that couple of weeks we just labored over building Jazzmasters? It was before we had the pin router.
Before we had the pin router, it was the last thing we did.
Yeah,
the pin router on.
Yeah. And what a game changer it was to get that dude.
3 routers set up with different depth bits. Those guitars were cool and fun.
I think I know someone who has one of the gold ones. Who has the red metal?
Don't know who that ended up going to. Okay. If that one popped up, I would buy it back.
Would you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'd reshape the neck.
Okay.
But, yeah, they were really neat.
They were super cool.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you this, and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay.
If we did the Super Casanova, would you want to also do a bolt-on one? And that was the Super Casanova was basically the set neck version, and then the Casanova LTD was just the bolt-on one with the straight up fender,
pick guard and everything.
You think we should do both?
Yeah, we could do both. Yeah.
What do you guys think? If we're going to bring back something that's like a Jazzmaster, would you want to see one with a bolt-on neck, a la the Fender style, or would you want to see it with the different scale length and different neck construction? Let me know. Eric says, was there a guitar called Kaiser or something like that? Yes, Eric, there was a guitar called the Kaiser Blade, and it was essentially a flat top Les Paul, no cutaway.
No cutaway Les
Paul. It had all the other stuff, binding and yeah.
A couple of them had Bigsby's.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when we were. One of the reasons that we built that guitar was in the wood-centric Build a Classic Gibson,
which we don't offer anymore.
That was an easy guitar for us to build because teaching people how to do binding on a guitar with no cutaway,
it was a breeze.
And we don't always have as much time as we would like. So that's one of the reasons that we built a couple of those.
And frankly, the Kaiser Blade still exists in some ways. The icon is a little bit like the you could probably get like, for example, Ike's exclusive guitar is an icon with 2 pickups. That's about as close as you can get to a Kaiser Blade now.
Yeah, and it's the body shape is slightly different. Construction's way different.
Yeah.
A couple of those Kaiser Blades weighed.
They weren't light.
A little bit of weight.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a similar guitar.
How about the Mud Flap Girl one?
Mud Flap Girl, that was a fun guitar.
That guitar was absurdly cool. Anyway,
that guitar. Sometimes you can have too many good things on a guitar. That might have been one.
I don't know, Chris.
It had a mirror pick guard.
The neck was maple, and and red.
Red, yeah.
It
was candied red.
Yep.
The Mudflap Girl lit up when you plugged it in.
The Mudflap Girl F hole. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Had Curtis Novak crazy
really,
expensive
really
pickups.
Cool pickups in it.
It was Leopard.
Yeah.
I forgot it was Leopard.
Leopard was it bound or did it have?
It was bound. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it had really expensive everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I don't even know where it is now. If that guitar ever came up for sale, that'd be the one that you should buy back. So anyway, guys, we're just about to wrap it up here. There will be no reveal tomorrow. There will be a video on Sunday, and there will be a Patreon and YouTube member video this weekend, though I don't know what day it's going to be. I urge you to go over to Dylan Talks Tone and hang out with Dylan and his lovely wife, Leslie, for an hour or 5 minutes or 2 hours or however long they're on. They're on all night, and there's a lot of good stuff that they're going to talk about. I think he's going to talk about pickups tonight. I think he was doing. Last thing I saw was something about live pickup demos and how he doesn't like to do them or something. But that might be tomorrow's video. I don't know. Okay. You guys can go find out for yourself. You don't take my word for it. Thank you so much, Butch. Thank you, Van Shank Guitars. Guys, we will see you at some point this weekend. And until then, have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon.